So about a week ago, or 2 weeks ago maybe, I had made a video about Twitter trying to cancel MatPat for making a game theory about the gender of a Team Fortress 2 character. Essentially, MatPat was trying to find out if the pyro from Team Fortress 2 was a boy or a girl, and I guess some people took major issue with that. You know, a bunch of hermits just said that it was transphobic because, you know, the pyro, oh, maybe they were a non-gender conforming person, but in reality, it's just impossible because, you know, it's not a person, it's a video game character, it's not real, this thing doesn't have thoughts, feelings, or emotions, and therefore it wouldn't really make sense for you to advocate for their gender, you know? Like, it's just not a real thing, it's just zeros and ones, it's just a makeup of code. Long story short, the video that I made on this situation did really well in the algorithm. I think it's at like 320,000 views, so any of you guys who have joined my channel and started watching me because of that video, thank you. But today I thought that we would take another look at what Twitter has to say about MatPat and some people that are trying to cancel MatPat for some just really stupid stuff, and objectively worse than last video. I wouldn't say it's as bad, but I mean, dude, some of the stuff here is insane. So starting off with this tweet, it says, TW MatPat. Now, before I can even finish the tweet, and before we even really get started as to the actual content of the tweet, I just have to call this out, because it's insane. Putting a trigger warning before somebody's name on Twitter is one of the most dehumanizing and worst things that you can do. Essentially, what you're saying and what you're implying when you put a trigger warning before somebody's name is that their existence offends you, and their existence is a source of, like, triggering for you. Which, by that logic, you're insinuating that you hope that they die, or that your life would be less triggering and easier without them. And for somebody like MatPat, that just is not okay, alright? I understand that if you were to use a trigger warning for somebody like Joseph Stalin or Hitler, like, if you want to put a trigger warning before the name of some, like, terrorist or, you know, somebody who's done some really disgusting things, and I mean, like, actually disgusting things, like killing people and stuff, then go ahead, my dude. You know, I understand that if you want to give people a heads up, like, yo guys, today we're gonna be talking about some guy who ran through Walmart impaling people with a plunger, so if that kind of stuff gets under your skin or perhaps offends you in any sort of way, then you can keep scrolling. You know, I understand that. But in this scenario, we're talking about a dude who's talked about Five Nights at Freddy's theories and, like, donates to charity. I don't understand the trigger warning. Continuing on here, it says, the money that YouTuber Matthew Patthew, okay, pause, that's just not his last name, raised for charity actually went toward curing children in the LGBTQ community. Disgraceful. And attached to that tweet is Game Theory $1 million challenge for St. Jude's Children's Research Hospital, triples goal, raises $3 million. 30+ YouTube content creators joined the fund to help end childhood cancer. Now, it's at this point where I have to question if the person writing this tweet actually has a brain inside of their cranium. Like, obviously I know the answer is yes, but I can't actually manifest the fact that somebody who tweeted this out has a functioning occipital lobe and a basal ganglia. Like, that actually boggles my mind, because they're clearly not using it, right? Like, somebody who tweets this kind of stuff out clearly doesn't do their research, or is just stupid, or is, I don't know, man. It's just like, how dumb can you be? Like, you're going on to say that MatPat is supporting a charity that is trying to quote-unquote cure LGBTQ people, but then you attach a screenshot of an article that doesn't support your claim. Like, the article literally says MatPat is donating to a hospital that is trying to end childhood cancer. So right off the bat, you're making yourself look like you need to be admitted to one of these hospitals that MatPat is raising money for. Now, since I actually had to do this person's thinking for them, since they were literally incapable of providing evidence for the claim that they made, you know, I decided to do some research. I looked on Google to see if there was any sort of evidence of St. Jude's discriminating against LGBTQ people. So I go to their website, and the first thing I see is St. Jude's is leading the way the world understands, treats, and defeats childhood cancer and other life-threatening diseases. So right off the bat, St. Jude's is just taking dubs from the get-go, okay? I mean, I'm seeing nothing but W's here, okay? So I go to their FAQ section to see if that had anything about LGBTQ patients, and I did, and they do have something about it. What should I do if I think someone discriminated against me for my sexual orientation, gender identity, sex stereotype, or identifying as LGBTQ? You can talk to a member of your St. Jude team or the nursing coordinator. You can also ask the patient relations coordinator or another member of the staff to help you. Now, not only am I not seeing where LGBTQ patients are attempted to being, you know, converted or cured of their LGBTQ, I'm actually seeing the exact opposite. I'm seeing that if you are a patient here and you feel like you're being discriminated against, then you can tell somebody and they will do something about it. So you are just completely and 100% wrong. But you know what, man? let's say that you weren't wrong, okay? Let's say that St. Jude's would discriminate and try to cure people of their LGBTQ. How is that MatPat's fault, homie? Like, he has nothing to do with the inner workings of the hospital, okay? He doesn't work there part-time as a nurse. He doesn't clock into his shift at St. Jude's and start discriminating against people. That's just not something that he does. You know, it would be one thing if the St. Jude's hospital had, like, a very, you know, publicly known history of discriminating against LGBTQ people and trying to cure them of their LGBTQ, but they just simply don't, okay? The St. Jude's Hospital is one of the most reputable hospitals in the entire country. They don't have some sort of underground anti-LGBTQ pizza cult. The hospital's entire mission is to help children who have cancer try to get rid of the cancer and try to treat the cancer. I mean, I just don't understand. Is the person who wrote this tweet, like, pro-cancer? I just don't get it. Like, this person isn't only trying to cancel MatPat, but they're trying to cancel the St. Jude's Hospital that treats cancer. I can't imagine what's going through this person's head. I mean, dude, do you want children to die of cancer? Maybe because in your head, one time somebody at the hospital got called gay and somebody laughed at it? Like, I'm really trying to put the pieces of the puzzle together. Now, that gem of a tweet was absolutely stupid and was pretty bad overall, but now, ladies and gentlemen, we have quite possibly one of the worst threads on Twitter.com. I have found a 14-tweet-long thread about, you know, everything that MatPat has done wrong or bad things that MatPat has said. And after reading this entire thread, I think I'm genuinely suicidal now. You know, the way this person goes on to quote the things that MatPat has said as somehow evidence of him being a bad person just makes me want to go cannonball into a minefield. Like, I just don't get how people make these just massive thread of tweets on just any certain YouTuber that they just have that much, like, hate in their heart toward that person. Like, dude, what are you hoping to achieve out of this thread of tweets, homie? Do you want MatPat to end up in the gulag? Like, I seriously don't know what you want. Are you hoping MatPat gets boxed like a fish and then one-pumped? Because the way that you're tweeting about him and the way you're quoting him in such a way that makes it very clear that you don't like him, it just makes it, you know, it makes me wonder, why do you hate him so much? Well, let's take a look here and look at some of the things that you're quoting him on, and, you know, let's see why these things might be bad. So it starts off by saying, MatPat's greatest hits, a thread. So, you know, obviously sarcastic, you know, they don't think MatPat is a great person, which they make very clear later on by calling MatPat anti-Semitic, but before we even get to that part, we have tweets like this that just make no sense. Quote, are these fictional women's boobs fake? Now, first of all, with all these quotes that they're showing in order to try to cancel MatPat, there's just zero context provided. Like, he could have said, are these fictional women's boobs fake? Well, actually they're not, but you just took out the part where he says, well, actually not. You know, I obviously don't know the context in which these quotes are taken from, but it's like, dude, you could honestly take anything that anybody says ever out of context and it may sound bad. Like, I right now could say, yo, I kill little kids and then eat their poop. And then afterward I say psych, but you don't hear the psych part. I mean, dude, this is so fundamental. I can't believe people are falling for this, being like, oh my god, MatPat really said that? Like, yeah, he did actually said that, but, you know, there was, like, other things that he said after that, which makes the thing that he said before that make more sense. And for this example, I also don't understand what's wrong with this quote. I'm reading this again, and I'm just like, what? Are these fictional women's boobs fake? Aren't they? Because they're fictional? I'm just trying to understand here. Like, Wonder Woman from the DC franchise probably has fake boobs because they don't even exist to begin with because Wonder Woman isn't real? I guess cancel me? I'm confused. But no, they just chucked that one into their thread of tweets trying to cancel MatPat because, hey man, why not? Now I think I'm actually gonna do a follow-up to this video where we go through this entire thread and look at some of the cancer that is in this thread. But with that being said, please drop a like and subscribe if you have made it to the end of this video, and comment down Clay if you've made it this far. Be sure to follow me on social media and join the Discord server, links all in the description below. Special thanks to my channel members for helping me make the content that I want to make, but of course with that all being said, I will see you guys in the next one. Peace.